Thank you so much, Barry Moses, for that amazing piece. Good morning once again. My name is Christine Kiai. Of course, thank you so much for staying tuned with us here on Y in the Morning. The hashtag is Y in the Morning. Our Facebook pages are at Y254 channel on Facebook and Twitter, and of course you can reach me directly at Christine Kiai. Now, of course, today being Entrepreneurship Tuesday, well, today we are focusing on a special kind of set of entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, also known as sociopreneurs, people who at their heart start a certain cause, not necessarily to make money, but mostly for social impact. And my guest in studio here today, of course, is here to discuss that with us. His name is Derric Boondox. He is a lot of things, but just to name a few, he is a socialpreneur. Of course, he majors in assisting upcoming artists to achieve their goals. He is also a director, he is a producer, he is a brand influencer, he is also a music promoter. Engage us 22162 is our SMS line. Start with YM254. Derric, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How are you doing this morning?
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to our studios today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Now, before we begin, I'd just like for you to share with us your social media handles so that our viewers can also interact with us as we move along with the interview.
Okay, thank you. My social media handles are Derric with a single R, Boondox, BOONDOX. Yeah, as simple as that.
All right. Thank you so much. And now, first of all, Boondox, you know, it kind of takes me back to Boondox. Boondox the cartoon, is that your official name?
Most people think it's my official name, by the way. Almost everybody. Nobody knows my other name. But I have another name that is Odhiambo. So my name is Derric Odhiambo. But Derric Boondox came through one of my very best friends when the Boondox cartoon was coming up.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah, so that's how I got that name. I think I was the first fat guys to discover the cartoon. So I gave it my friend, he watched it, and then the next day he came and called me Boondox. I need it.
And it's stuck. And that's like what most people, the name that most people know you by.
And that's the name that most people know me. And then I believe also when you're working in an entertainment industry, you need something that resonates with people very easily.
Yes.
So I thought that name will resonate with people that quick. So I stuck with it, and it has stuck all through till now.
All right. Okay, that's very interesting. Now, I've just mentioned a couple of things you do. You do quite a lot.
I do quite a lot.
Yes, but just briefly tell us maybe who Derric is.
Derric has a lot of things, but simply I'm an events manager. I have an events company that is called Boondox Activate, taken from the word Boondox.
Yes.
Yeah, so majorly it measures more on corporate events and weddings. And also we do a bit of brand marketing and brand positioning. Yeah, but also nowadays I venture also in video production. I started doing video production early this year. So we are trying to change the game in how videos are done. Sometimes it sucks when you hear Kenyan artists going to shoot videos in SA, Niger, but sometimes I understand them because there's little creativity still in the industry. So we are trying to see on how we can combine quality and creativity and make it competitive. Probably these people will stick to Nairobi now.
Is it something that you've always wanted to do, or?
Yeah, my passion for working in the entertainment industry jets back from while I was in high school. While I was in high school, I was an entertainment prefect. Yeah, so then when I finished high school, I went to campus. I was elected the entertainment secretary. And then from campus now, because I was having this worry now, I was almost finishing campus and then starting to job hunt, because what I did in campus was something different. I did IT. So I decided to have a different perspective of it. So I started doing events while I was in campus, doing for other universities. So basically I started modeling. That is why I started. So I started doing modeling events and then slowly integrated to these other events like the social aspect of it. Yeah.
And of course, you've worked with quite a lot of amazing and big artists. You will tell us a bit more about that later on.
It's a blessing.
But I just want us to first of all look at the entrepreneurship side of it.
Okay.
You have your own company,
Yeah.
and you're a social entrepreneur. Of course, we've identified what that means. But at what particular point or what event made you realize that there's a certain gap in the industry that needs to be filled, or that actually there are some artists who are not given opportunities, or maybe to say they are sidelined?
Okay, while I was in campus, my predecessor, that is, or the person I took over from, because in campus we usually have these predefined types of events like freshers night, campus night and stuff. So while I was in campus, I decided to start creating my own events, things that are different. So because I came and did an analysis, and I realized we had a lot of Muslim people in school. So most Muslims, they don't do night stuff. So I came up with day events, and then I also introduced a talent search, whereby we could search for talents, because when you're doing these events in campus, guys could come to you like, hey, can you give me a platform to perform? Can you give me a platform? So we used to give them platforms, but I decided to come now with a sole event that was geared towards giving them platform. And so I tailored it in a way whereby we could bring professionals, like let's say an established DJ, an established dancer, an established musician or something, and then these people adjudicate. Because for an upcoming artist, it becomes something great when you perform in front of a big artist.
Yes.
Yeah, you do it your best. Yeah, and then from this platform also, it gives you that momentum to see like, hey, I can do it, blah blah blah, and then you soldier on from that spot. Yeah.
All right. So you primarily work with upcoming artists only.
I integrate.
You integrate.
I integrate because for you to mold these upcoming artists, you need somebody up there.
Yes.
So because I have contacts of basically, I can say almost 90% of most established artists in Kenya, so there's a way we usually integrate. Like you call this person, you say like, hey, you talk to Elani, you tell them like, there's this person probably I want you guys to mentor, blah 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 and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, maybe just a bit more in details, you know, just tell us how this particular platform that you have, how you're able to work or how you go about working with this artist to make them make their art or their hobby a profession.
A profession.
Yeah.
First of all, from the analysis I've done so much in the Kenyan industry, I'm trying to do a lot of things differently. Like even the artist management, because I've worked closely with a lot of the management industries in the country right now. So I'm trying to give these artists a different path, probably try to teach them to professionalize their art. And that starts from scripting, what they're going to sing, doing the audio, they need to go to a professional studio. And then the other thing is now doing the video, because currently without a good video, even if your audio is that on top, it's very hard to survive. And then now on how to push this music. And then the other thing, because I know bits of, or I know more about brand marketing, you try and advise this artist on how to position himself as a brand, because artists don't only survive from singing alone. They survive also from corporate endorsements and also working with corporates in other ventures. So that is how I'm trying to bring these people differently to the industry and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned one of the things that I've most of the artists I've interviewed keep on saying that it's a challenge, and most of the times, you know, they're saying it's because of funds, which is the quality of the video. Maybe how do you think this can be solved?
Okay, quality of the video. There are people also, because right now, if you gauge, there are a lot of people are doing videos. Yeah. So the only thing I usually try and tell artists is try not to look at cost as a factor. Because I've met a lot of artists who've done like over 20 songs. 20 songs. So in order to do these 20 songs, you pay, you pay for studio time, you pay for that production. So what I usually advise them, instead of doing 20, why don't you just do one? Save on this cost, do a quality video. And then from this one song, it can help you come up with other songs. That is how probably the best way they can approach it, rather than doing many going to studio every time you do a song, but you don't gauge the performance of that song in the industry.
All right. This is, of course, not necessarily a new venture, this social entrepreneurship, but do you feel like it's an area that has been tapped into by a lot of people?
I wouldn't say it has been tapped into, because mostly with the current economic situation in the country, a lot of people are so much geared on or focusing on more money than the aspect of producing quality and probably giving somebody a platform to get somewhere else. Even we guys, we've been given platform. Like me, I've also been mentored by other people. You get, and part of the people who've helped me also in these industries, the likes of DJ Krem, who've really supported me and pushed me. So if you don't give other people these platforms also, people are going to probably, you're not going to help the industry, and you're not going to help yourself also, because from helping this person, you also get to identify some other aspects of yourself that you didn't know. You meet people, and then you venture it also into other areas.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So you worked with a couple of course, amazing people, which is something I want you to share with us, probably in terms of the highlights of your career as a social entrepreneur, as a brand manager, and you know, all those things. You know, also just giving us the tips on how to be successful as a social entrepreneur.
Okay, I've worked with a lot of people, like very many. I've worked with Elani, I've worked with Krem, I've worked with Calligraph, very many. I've worked with John Falme. There's a time I used to market Smirnoff events. So that time I used to work with John Falme, DJ Creeper and DJ Stretch. So I've worked with the time Morgan came to the country, I was the one who was marketing the event. Yeah. So I've worked with a lot of people, international, local. So from these people, you always get to, when you sit down with them, you always don't just take selfies with them. You always get an opportunity to ask them a lot of questions. You get to know, how do they do their thing? How do they get to succeed where other people have failed? Like one of my best friends is a pioneer of this industry. I don't know if you guys still remember him. He's called Josiah.
Okay, yes, of course.
The sole producer, the person who's made the likes of Kina Red Sun. Yeah, I kind of tend to ask him a lot of questions. Like also when I wanted to venture into the video industry, because he has a studio, he has a video studio, and he has immense wealth in the industry. He knows where to go right, where to go wrong, and stuff. So I think a lot of faults that most people make is impatience. Yeah, there are people who are just impatient to become stars. You don't become a star if you don't work hard. Yeah. Sometimes I look on social media on these TBTs and you see where some artists have come, the likes of Big Ted, the likes of Sadiq. Like Sadiq was a drummer. I don't know if most of you guys used to know that he used to drum for somebody's band.
Oh, really?
So these people have come far, and it's the patience that has taken them to where they are right now. So if somebody can be patient, and then you get to consult more, rather than feeling like you have the rhymes, you have the music, you have what it takes. What I learned also while working for a corporate is sometimes you need to be a good listener, but then you need to be very key to the details. So if you follow probably all those steps, you can go far.
Okay, all right. Now, you of course have given a lot of upcoming artists a platform to grow and just be known out there. How do you gain credibility? That they can actually have confidence in coming to you and believe that you can make their career grow.
Credibility is what you do. That's what gives you credibility. So I'm never thirsty to be known. That is what I always try to say. I'm never thirsty to be known, because your work is supposed to speak for yourself. So if you do a good job, somebody will just refer you to another person. You get a call from this person. Like I get calls every day from people, and we have conversations. So it's not about you getting known, because sometimes also publicity becomes negative. I've seen how publicity kills people. People will start working against you because now they see you become famous.
Yes.
But if you are behind the scenes, because like why I chose to become an events manager is because a lot of people don't know events managers. People go to their shows, people go to attend what they do, but people don't know the people behind these events.
Yes.
So that's why I get my comfort zone. Yeah.
All right, maybe in your career, what would you say has been your biggest challenge? Because there could be someone out there who wants to be an entrepreneur of whatever sorts, maybe just get into the entertainment industry and start and do it as a business. What would you say are some of your biggest challenges?
Challenges are very many, by the way. But like, let me say, when it comes to artist management, the challenges mostly, let's say, starts from the media, because a lot of medias have higher threshold of what they want from the artists. Then there are some media, like, I can say it's not even about threshold, but it's just about who this artist is. Because like what I've seen mostly, if you've already broken from to the industry, you are now famous, you don't sweat having an airplay. But if you have an upcoming artist, these people have to sweat. Yeah, you can get an interview. That one is very easy to get. But now the rotation of this music now becomes very tricky. So you have to push these media houses too, because in Kenya here, if you don't have rotations in TV and radio, it's very hard. It's not like back then where DJs used to make artists famous. Nowadays, it's more on media. Yeah.
All right. Maybe because we have talked about social entrepreneurship not being an area that a lot of people have ventured in. Of course, maybe for various reasons, maybe fear, maybe lack of income or whatever. Do you feel like there's need for the government and the community or the society to come in and encourage this particular venture and even maybe just support it?
Yeah, true. The majorly the community, because the government just does what you call creates policies and stuff, and beyond that, the government cannot do much. But the community has a role to play, mostly corporate, I say so, because comparing to what I see in other countries, corporates support talent, art, and a lot of things. Back then, like let's say 5 years ago in our country, we used to have these things like, let's say, TPF and those things which were being supported by corporates. So these were platforms for these people to audition without buying that opportunity. You go there for free, and you get your work to be seen by other people. In America, you see, we always have American Got Talent, we have The Voice, so we have a lot of platforms, and those platforms are sponsored by corporates which are in the community. So in Kenya here, we lack those, because without them, these people have to find other avenues, and most of the avenues now are found in institutions. And in institutions also we have challenges, because you find I've been a student leader before, so I know the challenges we give these people. There's some student leaders who don't want to give these people platforms because more of them are probably business or money oriented, so it becomes so hard. But when corporates, which I think corporates have a lot of profits, so if they support this, so that's why I usually appreciate what Safaricom does, Blaze, and all those things.
Okay, all right. So currently there are some projects that you are undertaking, which I want you to, of course, share with us. I know that you're working with Ghana and Nigeria promoters to try and push our music on that side, that part of the continent. Just tell us a bit about that.
Oh, okay. So I came and realized that we play a lot of Nigerian and Ghanaian music.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, which I love them because they're good music. I won't lie. I don't hate them. There's a time I even used to promote their music locally. So, but right now we need to do it vice versa. They need to start playing our music. Yeah. So I realized after having communication, I have a friend in Ghana who's a music producer, and he also owns a station, a TV station. So we've been having chit-chats with this guy for a very long while, and I realized our music don't get rotation in that side, because even when you ask him about the artists we perceive are famous in Kenya, they're not famous on the other side. You get. So it's very tricky on us, and it's high time our artists stop being local. Yeah, because even back then, our artists used to be the most international artists. You used to go to TZ, you hear of the likes of Nonini, you go to UG, you hear Red Sun. Nowadays it's very hard for them to do that penetration. Nowadays it's like Diamond is already in the country, supposed to do a listening something. So why would you spend a lot of money on Diamond and you have our own artist? Yeah, recently I saw on social media there's a club that brings a DJ from States every weekend, pays this guy 15 million a month. Don't we have a DJ in the country who can be paid that? And they pay 200K for him every week to come to Nairobi. So we need to take this thing outside. And for us to take it outside, it needs some bold move, probably. So even if I'm going to be the pioneer of that, I wouldn't mind such, because I think after a long while, it's going to be fruitful for us.
Well, some local artists, you know, just to mention, maybe like Sauti Sol have tried to do that, possibly by working with some of a Nigerian artist, or, you know, artists from other countries. I would believe that was like a way to create a buzz about them in that particular country, but it seems it's not working. So like, what strategy will you use, you know, to send out that message to make sure that our music is heard?
So sometimes it's good when you do collaborations with people. So like, let's say when I go there, I get to have a contract with this guy, whereby, because also the guy promotes other artists, and Ghanaian, Nigerian artists. So when you have a contract with this person, whereby like, you'll be promoting my artist in a country, I'll be promoting your artist in a country, and then we'll be sharing reports or anything and stuff. We'll be doing joint stuffs, collabos, tours. So like, let's say when I go to West Africa, I go with Kenyan artists, we do some media tour there, blah blah blah, and then they come back to Nairobi. I think it creates that bond. Yeah, but it's gonna work out eventually. Yeah, because the collabos also do, like, the collabos are doing great for Sauti Sol, because if you ask somebody in West Africa, what is the Kenyan artist, you know, apart from Victoria, because Victoria is more based in Nigeria, the other person they talk about is Sauti Sol.
Okay. All right. So apart from, you know, just Ghana and Nigeria, or maybe just Africa, are you also planning to work outside Africa, in Europe, in the States? Eventually,
because this is just a litmus test. So if it works out, why don't I go to States? Why don't we start looking for the big fish? Yeah, but we need to Africanize it first, because we cannot go to America and you have not even made it in East Africa. You've not made it in Nigeria. Yeah, like I can give you an example. Davido, Wizkid, they're very comfortable in America because these guys have made it in Africa. You get. So when they go there, and then thanks to Akon, because Akon is trying to promote a lot of African artists in the US. So Akon is giving them that platform to reach out to these big boys, and then they, like, currently they're playing almost in an equal level. It's not like us Kenyans, we have to lie that we did a collab with somebody, blah 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 and stuff. So it's something like that.
All right. Yeah. As we wind up, finally, just the best piece of advice that you have ever received as a social entrepreneur. Just give our viewers the same piece of advice, maybe.
So that is being okay. The only advice probably I can say is social entrepreneurship is more of a selfness work. You don't need to be doing it probably because you are looking for monetary value. These things eventually come up. So you just sacrifice yourself, and then you give it your best, and then you just become real to people. Don't exploit people, because I know in the Kenyan industry, people are really exploited by other people who tend to pretend they're going to help them. So it's just being real, working hard, and helping other people. And the other thing I also urge upcoming artists, upcoming entrepreneurs, always give it your best. Don't give up. You'll start, you'll fail, but eventually somebody will see your work outside there, and you're going to be recognized.
Wow, thank you very much. Do you mentor people?
I did that once. We did that once with some gospel artists. We did it in some primary. Yeah, but it was nice, by the way. It was nice. I even realized there's that deficit. The government needs to invest in that, because as much as the government is pushing so much on free primary education, because like the schools we went to are these schools in slum areas, like somewhere here in Majengo, we realize there's a lot of social impact. These kids are suffering, and just books alone cannot help. They need somebody to, like the likes of Kina Bahati, who have been in slums, the likes of Kina Willie Paul. These people, they come and tell them like, hey, we guys used to be like you guys, so
they need
can
that.
get somewhere. So
of course. Okay, thank you so much. Just share with us once again your social media handles.
My social media handles are Derric Boondox, Derric with a single R, Boondox, Boondox.
All right.
Across all platforms.
All right. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very sure that our viewers have gotten one or two things from that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for staying tuned to Y in the Morning. Well, we have come to the end of the show, and I just want to say thank you so much on behalf of Shiku Kaitani, Valentine, Barry Moses, and Hilda Wathithi, myself, Christine Kiai. Thank you so much for keeping us company this morning. Remember, conversation keeps going on our social media at Y254 channel on Facebook and Twitter. Hashtag Y in the Morning 22162 is our SMS line. Of course, start with YM254. We do thank you so much once again. Until tomorrow, do have a lovely day.